The Immigration Act of 1901 and the subsequent White Australia policy that was born from this are of great historical value. The chosen artefact, a badge created 5 years after the Immigration Act, is representative of the culture at the time and that which would follow for over half a century. The artefact is hugely different to this inclusive and supportive promotional material that is very much prevalent in education today, for instance Harmony Day and NAIDOC Week, as you can see when comparing these two images. Presenting students with this badge asks them to think about what it may stand for, and when further inquiry is conducted, gives them an insight into how the culture has changed within Australian society. Although beginning as a historical investigation, this can be further expanded on in terms of civics and citizenship. As Reynolds notes, these are closely linked, with historical study enabling students to be active and informed citizens. In the classroom, this artefact will be used as a starting point for a unit of work to develop ideas and links for further lessons for levels 5 and 6. The badge itself will be used to generate interest in the topic, beginning the process of inquiry and the acquisition of new skills and knowledge. Using this artefact in combination with the inquiry process aims to enhance students' learning. As Reynolds notes, inquiry helps students gain better understanding from their lessons and generates more opportunities for deep learning. Across this unit, students will be focusing on the process of change over time and how this has shaped Australia as a nation. The White Australia badge can be used as a reference point throughout the unit, allowing students to investigate and determine any change. The global perspective for this unit is identity and cultural diversity, an understanding of self and one's own culture, and being open to the culture of others, with students aiming to develop these understandings through their study. To guide this inquiry process, the unit will make use of the focus questions taken from the Victorian curriculum. How did Australia change throughout the 20th century? Who are the people that came to Australia? Why did they come? And what contribution have significant individuals and groups made to the development of Australian society? This unit will focus around the big picture concepts of Australia as a nation, change, migration, and cultural diversity. The unit will be based around the Victorian curriculum for history at levels 5 and 6, making use of these content descriptors. The intended learning outcomes for this unit are: students will identify and investigate historical material and sources. Students will describe the different historical perspectives and points of view, making comparisons to modern examples. And students will present a final piece making use of different sources of evidence, historical terms, and concepts. As Reynolds notes, the essential tenet is that there is a sequence of activities to guide students through a meaningful social investigation, revolving around a progression of framing and focus questions, locating, organizing, and analyzing evidence, evaluating, synthesizing, and reporting conclusions, possible taking action of some sort, and reconsidering the consequences and outcomes of each of the above phases. These lessons aim to achieve this. They will guide students through a period of time from Federation until the present, giving students a chance to research and determine their own understandings. Throughout this unit, students will be required to understand the chronology of significant events that occurred throughout the 1900s. To achieve this, the artefact could be used to generate math lessons that teach students how to read, interpret, and generate timelines. Additionally, as the artefact and its associated meanings are closely linked to civics and citizenship, it will provide students with a good knowledge base before moving on to further units of study in this area. The cross-curriculum priority addressed by this unit is learning about Asia and Australia's engagement with Asia. This will be addressed throughout the unit, with students learning about the connections between these two nations that have spanned the last century to the current day. In particular, this unit will delve into the engagement between the two nations and how this has changed over time, while also aiming to develop students' understanding of cultural diversity. The teaching strategies to be used include role play, inquiry, discussion, cooperative learning, and small group work. These strategies, taken from Effective Teaching Strategies by Roy Killen, aim to provide students with a variety of learning opportunities, enhancing their engagement with the learning material. As Killen notes, teachers are required to have a knowledge of a variety of teaching strategies in order to help their students develop knowledge, skills, general problem-solving abilities, and critical and creative thinking skills. When conducting this unit, it is important to provide students with avenues to carry out their own inquiry. Resources like the SBS website, which contains a series on immigration to Australia, or the Vroom search engine, which allows students to find their own evidence for analysis and comparison, are both valid examples. Additionally, the movie titled The Birth of White Australia, filmed in 1928, demonstrates a good example to support the original artefact. The movie not only shows clearly how negatively multiculturalism was viewed during the period of the White Australia policy, and therefore the change that has occurred since this time, but also it serves as an example of a primary source that students can examine and compare to more modern evidence. The possible excursions for this topic include the Gum San Chinese Heritage Museum and the Immigration Museum, to enable students to experience elements of Australian migration from different perspectives. Additionally, the National Museum of Australia offers students the chance to conduct their own inquiry process, engaging students in a way that may not be possible in the classroom. Incursions for this unit could focus on new and more culturally diverse ideas, like Harmony Day, aiming to build students' knowledge of other cultures.